Okay, in this video we're going to talk about scenes and saving. And I've booted up the console, and it's booted up with whoever last used it. It's actually a Cashman show for way back, right before the pandemic started. And anyway, there's a whole friggin' mix on here, and we need to, save and start fresh. So down here, there's these great screen access macro buttons, and the top one's the most important. It's the automation filing button. And if you click on this thing, you'll see there are two windows. There's the scene window, and there's the file window. So that's the hard drive, and that's everything in here is within the file, and these are all the files on the hard drive. So what we're going to do is make a new file. I'm going to the scene one, and let's just say new, and I'm making a file on the hard drive, and it's saying right now, whoa, your show is not saved. And that's okay, we don't care. This goes back 6 months, we don't care. Okay, and it's going to ask you to name it. And so obviously I'm going to slide out the keyboard tray, and I'm going to start typing. Please comply with NESCOM file naming standards if you could. So this would be mix1 underscore or dot or space and your name, and I don't know, Harrison or Harry. That's what his dad calls him. So mix1.harry. And so I created a new scene, and watch what happens here. It deleted all the scenes. Okay, they're all gone. But if you look back, zoom out for a second, you'll see that the mix is still there. And this is kind of a cool feature on the console. It keeps whatever you last had on the desk alive, so if you wanted to start fresh in a new scene and save it, you could. Now in this situation, I don't need the Cashman show in my mix lab. So what I'm going to do is I need to move my scene to one previous to the global scene. And the global scene is always erased. It's the zilch reset version of the console. So there's two ways I can move between scenes. I can either click here and do last, which will go backwards, or next will go forward, or down here on the buttons you've got this whole automation thing. So if I go to last, it's actually, look at the screen here, it's going to go back to global. And before it does, it says, stop, warning, you're about to erase the console, you're about to lose everything in RAM, your mix is about to go away. And you go, okay, I want to do it. And oh, the console is 0. Now look at the console, show the console. See? No mix, no mix, no mix. So great. So that's how you get started. Of course, everything is erased, and you have about 10 more videos to watch about how to reset your mix out. But we need to save your stuff. So to save your stuff, first you save a scene. It's kind of like other consoles where you save a scene and then you save it to the hard drive. You have to do both. If you don't do both, you will lose it. And trust me, every semester, one student doesn't do both. So the first thing to do is save a scene, and this is pretty simple. You hit the store scene button. There's a button down on the console, and there's a button here. And we're going to store scene, and it's pretty simple. It's going, name it what you want. I don't know. Poop Mike seems like the appropriate name for this particular class. And, you'll have some options here. Right now we only have one, store to next scene, so we'll store to next scene. And boom. You now have scene 1, and oddly enough, the name went away. And I think you all just saw me name it, and it still went away. This console, there's some bugs in this console, and this particular part of the console, there's quite a lot to learn. Each one of these buttons will open up windows with commands and how to do this and how to do that. You'll probably find some frustration. I certainly do. I know I can name it. I can just hit the edit button here, and I really wanted to say Poop Mike, because, well, Poop Mike. And so I think I hit enter, and there's no even enter button. Maybe just close it. Well, it did it. Anyway, you will find that as you work through these scenes and make updates and move faders and store new scenes, most students I know will have like getting started, getting faders, getting labels. They will make many, many scenes throughout their mix. And we do have some assignments where you do have to make many, many scenes. So when you start storing more scenes, you'll have more choices like, do you want it before the one you made? Do you want it after? Do you want to overwrite? You'll have all sorts of things, and you'll just have to figure that out, and you're smart enough to do that. The important thing to realize is, though you saved a scene, though I've created Poop Mike here, it's not actually saved. It's only in RAM, so if the power goes out, we lose it. You need to save it, a scene, and you need to save your file. And we already created the file, right? That's mix1 underscore harry.show. So we're going to say save. Now it's actually saved to the hard drive. So it's pretty simple, but just got to remember make scene and store file. Goodbye.